Welcome to College Sports Conversations. I'm your host, Haydyn Gibson, and we're excited to bring you a Division II focus episode today. The National Division II Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as SAAC, speaks on behalf of the entire Division II student athlete body in the NCAA governance structure. SAAC members provide student athlete feedback and serve as voting members on several Division II committees. The committee also votes on legislative proposals on behalf of Division II student athletes annually at the NCAA convention. Comprised of 26 student athletes and 2 management council members, the committee has conversations on important topics that impact student athletes on the campus, conference, and national levels. Today, I'm joined by Mackenzie O'Neill and Ismael Contreras. Mackenzie is a former Missouri Western soccer student athlete who serves as Division II SAAC chair, and Ismael is a rising senior on Purdue Northwest soccer team who serves as Division II SAAC External Communications Coordinator. Mac and Ish, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us, Haydyn.
Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So Mac, let's go back to the beginning. Can you tell me what led you to join National SAAC?
Absolutely. From what I remember, my joining National SAAC really started with me joining SAAC at my campus. And so my coach and another administrator had confidence in me as a leader and kind of wanted to see where that would go. And so I worked with some of our upperclassmen who really kind of dominated SAAC at that time. And then it just went from there. And after year 2, we were going into the spring semester, and one of my administrators, my liaisons on SAAC, had just said, "Hey Mac, I think you'd be really good at this," and showed me the form and everything and how to fill it out, and then the rest is history. So it was I wouldn't say an easy application process. It was stressful for sure, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But yeah, it was right in between my sophomore, fall, and spring semesters, and that was that.
And there you go. And it looks like it worked out, especially diving into that leadership role. I always tell student athletes, when you're looking to get a little bit more involved, SAAC is the perfect way to go. So Ish, for any National SAAC members future who are listening, can you describe what the process was like for you to join National SAAC?
Yeah, so kind of similar to Mac. It was brought up to me as an opportunity by a liaison at the time. She was our senior women's administrator. And basically she came to me and said, hey, I had only been on our institutional SAAC for a semester. I was a freshman at the time. She basically came to me and said, hey, I think this is a really good opportunity. You've kind of taken SAAC here at PNW with both hands. And I think that, you should, if you want to, go ahead and fill out the application and we'll see where it goes. And so basically what happened was I filled out the application. There was a small essay, some basic information that they asked from me. And then it was sort of a waiting game for a while. It was myself and 20 plus other applicants from the conference, which is the GLIAC. And basically I was waiting. And then I got word that I was one of the finalists. And then there was a little bit more waiting to do. And then finally, maybe 3 weeks, a month after I found out I was a finalist, they told me that I had gotten the position. So it was definitely super exciting, and it was really nice to, kind of have that gratification at the end of the process.
Absolutely. And so it sounds like the waiting was worth it. So it all worked out, which is great. So Mac, you were voted as chair in January 2021. Can you tell us what your new role has been like?
Absolutely. I of course was good friends with our former chair, Alex Shiloh, captain, and but even so, even talking with him about it, it can't even really prepare you for the kind of leadership roles and responsibilities. And I won't say that it's been hectic but it's certainly been a little bit overwhelming, right? To have so many people looking towards you. I don't know how you could possibly prepare for all that pressure, for lack of a better word. But overall, it's been great. I've gotten to speak with a lot of people that I don't think I would have otherwise. I've become a lot closer with our primary liaison, Ryan Jones, and the other committee members as well, because I think when you step into more of that leadership role, you kind of have to kind of have to learn how to communicate better, how to be a better friend, a better teammate overall, and kind of looking out for the best of everyone. And so it's been a little bit more responsibility and just a lot more fun, more of a positive experience overall.
Great. And that's great to hear. And like you said, whenever you move into a leadership role, it's a learning process, right? And so the good thing and what really makes you a good leader is you're always learning. So hopefully that continues for the rest of your term. And Ish, you also were voted to your new role in January of 2021. What has that transition been like for you?
Yes, so I had been on SAAC for not even a year yet. I completed my year the next month. And so I was definitely nervous when I was even, applying for the position. And then once I got it, it was, definitely, I think pressure was the right word that Mac used. But at the end of the day, I think the people that we have around us, with you guys as liaisons, with other committee members, that everybody is willing to kind of do what they can do to make your life as easy as possible. And so I definitely feel very fortunate to have you guys and our other members around me as I kind of transition into the role. And I'm happy to say it's been pretty smooth transition.
Perfect. And we're always here to help. So that's great to hear too. But Mac, in April of 2021, the SAAC voted on their new goals. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So Haydyn, it's kind of been a continuation of what our goals were for the past couple of years, focusing on the total package student athlete, where each word in that phrase kind of denotes a different aspect of student athlete life that we really want to highlight and focus on as Division II National SAAC. So total being mental health, overall mental well-being, package, diversity and inclusion, student, our focus on professional development, and formerly athlete, which was focused on our Love to Play initiative. I say formally because we decided as a committee, given the current circumstances with COVID and just trying to get back to sport, it wasn't really the right time for student athletes to be focusing on community involvement in that kind of way. And so, of course, the athlete part of student athlete in Division II is highlighted by both academic and athletic success. And so really this year we're focusing on those three first ones while taking out the Love to Play. So mental health, diversity and inclusion, and professional development. And Division II SAAC will meet again prior to our July meeting to really kind of hit home with a lot of those goals and maybe try to get a more centralized focus with some of them so we can work towards really great success here in the coming academic year.
And that's great to hear a little bit more about your goals, because it just sounds like you're really working to make a well-rounded student athlete. And as you see behind me, you're giving the student athletes the chance to make it yours and be able to go into things that they're really passionate about as well. Absolutely.
And especially, I think, with everything that we're kind of not dealing with, but are dealing with NIL right now too. It's important that we're highlighting the other aspects of student athlete life, because NIL really does that too. And so our goals are hoping to prepare our student athletes better for life after sports, but also life within sports and kind of the hectic craziness that comes with that.
And it's absolutely crazy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. So that's great. And you're also using your platform to be able to share your voice, and kind of leading into that, Ish, Division II is actually the only Division SAAC that has the opportunity to vote on things during the annual business session at the NCAA convention. Not only in the business session, but in also a few other meetings that you're involved with, student athletes have a chance for their voice to be heard. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I mean, we just talked about making it yours and sort of what's so unique about Division II. When I first found out about this, I thought this was the craziest thing. I was like, wow, you talk about how much power student athletes have, in society in general, and this kind of just reinforces that to the maximum. This is something that kind of makes you, as a Division II SAAC member, want to go that extra mile, right? Because you are representing the entire student athlete population in Division II. And that's a pretty big population, and student athletes, especially after the year that we've just had, there was definitely a lot of ups and downs, and it was for sure an emotional roller coaster and all types of things that were happening. And so when you have the opportunity as a national SAC member like we do, you definitely take your job seriously, and you want to do the absolute best you can for all the student athletes that you're representing.
Absolutely. And kind of going off of that, Mac, for someone that is listening to this that wants to join their campus conference or national SAC and make sure their voice is heard, do you have any advice for student athletes on how to get involved and to join SAC?
Absolutely. I think a lot of times whenever you think about joining SAC, you think about, oh my gosh, another commitment. This is going to be stressful. I already have so much on my plate. But Haydyn, as you and I kind of talked about before we even started recording, I mean, you wouldn't trade it for the world, right? This experience that you have right now as a student athlete is so unique. And what Ish was saying before with that platform, there will never be another time in your life really where you'll have that, unless you go on to, the professional realm. And in that case, then you really took the experience and made it yours and kind of took that next step in athletics. But I think overall, when you think about getting involved with SAC, think about getting involved with something bigger than yourself. I mean, if you think about just amplifying your own voice, you're kind of missing the point, right? The point is to enhance the student athlete voice, and we're student athletes, right? We want to change the world. We want to make it better. And so what better way to do that than by working with other like-minded individuals, whether that be on your at your campus, within your conference, or even on national SAC if you guys want to join us at some point. Good question.
That's a great perspective. Ish, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so kind of, I guess my advice would be, don't really look at it as a commitment, because for me, all the commitments that I've had because of, institutional SAC, conference SAC, national SAC, they've all kind of, flown by. There is work to do, but the people that you meet when you join this organization, it's just, I mean, they're the best people. I've met so many amazing people because I've been on SAC. And so, there is work to be done, and there are commitments that need to be made. But at the end of the day, we'll be sitting in 8-hour meetings, and it feels like we just started 30 minutes ago at the end of them, because everybody is so tuned in and everybody has a good time. And you just meet, so many great people, and it's a great way to reach out, and also, like Max said, be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. When you work with organizations like Make-A-Wish or Team Impact, there's so much good work to be done, and this is a great way to get it done.
Absolutely. And thank you both so much for taking the time to be on this podcast, but also thank you for both of your leadership in National SAC. We appreciate it, and I'm sure all of the Division II student athletes appreciate it as well.
Thanks, Haydyn, and thank you to you too. We couldn't do what we do without support from wonderful individuals like yourself.
Well, thank you. I'm blushing. I know it's hard to see behind the computer screen, but I am. And if you're a Division II student athlete interested in learning more about National SAC, visit the Division II Student Athlete Advisory Committee page on ncaa.org. Thank you all for tuning in today. I am Haydyn Gibson. Have a great day.